for it.
And we're just jumping into this conversation here. All right, man. So I'm trying to move. I'm thinking about moving, trying to balance. You tell me
I
your
know
thoughts on
you're
this.
just saying this. You want to move,
Yeah.
even in your thing is changing the environment. I get it. Changing the environment is perpetuates some sort of growth. It's like planting a flower in a certain environment, it doesn't grow. That was me personally stagnating in Fresno, and then I moved to San Diego and kind of rooted myself and connected and started to make these connections and have this little community. So that's why for me, it's more along the lines of scared from running from something that I've already just been trying to build and just saying like, whoa, what I have a pretty vast, pretty awesome network now of people that I've met that have connections to so many other people. And that's why I'm like, well, tell me in your end, what are you saying that we need that you feel like you don't have here in the environment? But I that's why on your end, when in our last conversation, you were talking about like that room holding so many karmas, so many different, memories, things like that. So I get why you should change, or like not should, but you feel the need to change that environment because you had more ideas in other areas, like even when before we went to Thailand, you know, I mean, imagine that place still had karmas, but you actually finally went to a new environment and you were able to make something happen in a new environment for nearly half a decade. So it's not like you can't do it. But even then, like we were talking about, is this little slippery slope there too. There was a time where it was a little bit of darkness for you, but you caught yourself and you came out of that.
Uh, yeah. And the way I solved a lot of my problems was moving, quite literally, just fucking picking up and moving the fuck somewhere else. And it's not that I'm running away. It's just that I don't want to live in that loop of experiences anymore. I
Mm.
get tired of those loops.
I get that. I mean, like how
No
many years
matter how
of experience have you
good,
lived
bad, sad,
normally?
happy, I just get tired of the loops and I just crave something else. I'm always trying to do these. My main goal is always to build these communities and get society running at a different level. That is always my main goal. What I do personally probably has to do more with me. Well, I'm gonna just say it, enlightenment. It sounds kind of weird to say it, but that I am spiritually focused in that regards to achieve oneness, whatever the hell that means, like so. Yeah, I I, I feel like I need to pick up and go because it's an amazing way to clear everything and
But so wait, do you think like because feeling and picking up and go is not a feeling? So you think you should pick up and go?
oh,
Like, what are the real
it is
feelings underlying that?
it
Because
is
what's
it
the
is
real
no.
feeling? Think
when
about
I,
emotions,
when I
right? Like,
say feeling, it's
what emotions
literally
do you feel there?
there's tons of feelings. I moved over 10 times when I was in Thailand, including the once or twice that I moved with you. I moved like a lot,
Right.
and and it was here, there, over here, different cities, different places, different this, different that, and it was
But like,
amazing because every time I moved, I can literally you can pinpoint and draw when new phases of my life would start based upon the movements I would actually take and how far I would go. Like right now, I feel limited because again, it's easier to move over there monetarily speaking. If you have a little bit, you move here or there, or do here, go there, or get this job here, get this job here. Here in the U.S., it's a different beast. I would actually have to get a kind of full time 40-hour kind of shit
I
like
mean,
that.
what if you were to figure out something that right now, like a service that you can provide for somebody where you can capitalize off of that in an online monetary setting? Because then you wouldn't have to jump through any hoops to get to any places.
It's
You don't
true.
have to play in the circus to continue to play their little game. You know what I mean? Like make the game play for you
Yes.
in a
Yeah.
sense. Like, I mean, what
I'm all about creating businesses and
now?
doing
I
these kinds
mean,
of things. But the businesses I want to create always require more than anything capital.
right. But I mean, then that's
Always.
where it's like, well, free, not but like speak into existence what that is. Then that's where connecting and finding other people is important because your network is your net
That,
worth. And
that's that's one way to do things. I'm talking about literally money. Money. Okay. The how do I say this? How would I say this without sounding like
I mean, say however you want to say, and I'll tell you what I heard, and then you try to tell me what you were really trying to say.
uh
I don't know what you're not trying to sound like.
there's all the moves I'm trying to make require fuck man. More than I guess more than money, they require energy and people and people who will do things without getting paid.
Well,
Like I'm not even talking about volunteers. I'm talking about people who agree. Because a lot of
here's the
people agree
thing.
with you, but a lot of people don't do shit without getting paid.
Hmm.
And that's the thing.
I in that notion there, they think that they're receiving something for what they're doing. So if you're able to give somebody something that they're like, there's a barter system, right? Like even
I'm
me,
not saying they don't deserve it.
no, that's not. I'm not gathering
Yeah.
that from you at all. But if
Yeah.
we are able to create something where you're allowing those people that are sacrificing what they think is more important monetarily, a fiat-based currency, but you have this community and their job or what their contribution is to the community is good enough, and what they're receiving from that maybe is the community, maybe is the people, maybe is whatever, or they have to define that, and then figuring out, whoa, the
Well,
people
yeah.
that
Look,
think the
I
same way as us or are willing to be on that
long
platform,
term
whatever it's
wise,
gonna take.
and you're right. Long term wise, lots of people. There are lots of people like that who can see that there's a community and not see that there's that. But short term wise, even if people believe it and see it, there's a lot of people who won't work for it because they're not getting paid right here, right now for
They
it.
need something
Do it.
instantaneously. So
Yes.
that's why if you're
Yes.
able to give something that, but like you're saying you need money, you're saying you need this, but like people are money. People are like meeting that person, they bring whatever money they already have and whatever they're willing to contribute in that sense. Like right this moment, this is the world we're in and this is the reality we're at. Like, so it's almost like I'll give an example of, supposedly they say when I feed my dog new food, I want to keep like 75% of the old food, implement 25% or whatever, right? So what we
Okay.
do is keep their system to where they can make money, but also have this little 25% of the barter or what we're trying to implement or what we think, or the currency that we want to work towards, or the whatever, the exchange for the service that they're providing, the contribution, whatever it is. Because currently our time or our exchange is our time for our money, right? That is energy in physical form. And that's what we're calling the substance that we go exchange to other people for the goods and services that we deem we need, or
Right.
maybe is marketed to us as if we
Right.
need that or want
Right.
that, whatever.
Okay. Agreed. Look, I'm not saying
I'm not disagreeing with you. It's just like, hey, within that, like, let's not talk about everything we can't do at the moment. Like, okay, but what's a mold? What's something we can start to morph within now instead of almost going around in a circle and getting.
here's the shit. The options of me not okay. Specifically speaking, let's make a website. I've tried it. I spent hours on it. I've done the video tutorials, and I fucking hated every moment of it. I thought it
Okay,
fucking
well,
sucked. All right,
that's something that
so
I can
let's just say, okay,
with somebody
option
else.
one, I make it myself. I've done template here. I've done multiple templates, and
Right.
I'm horrible at graphic design.
Fair enough.
I really am. I
That
recognize
is
this
a step
aspect.
in the right direction, because I have plenty of people that I've met in the community I'm in that
Yeah.
are really that
Okay.
have that skill. I don't know if
Perfect.
they're good, but I know that they own that
Perfect.
skill and they
Now,
can provide that skill.
can they? What would it require for them to provide that skill?
So here's the thing. I also have people that owe me, not owe me in a sense, but like I've done a lot for them, asked nothing in return, and felt like that exchange wasn't equal in the sense. So I can converse, but I need to know on our end what we would need. And then this is what I would like in return, how this person perceives that. Cool. Well, hey, you know what I mean? What do you need from me? And then I can go from there. I don't know until I know what we need. Then I can relay that to what they can provide and what do they need from me in return. And if that is exchange isn't something I'm willing to, that I'm okay with, or that's something that I have other people that I will go to with that same need and figure that out. That's why I'm saying like little bits here and there. the land. I know somebody who owns Steely Farms, and they were just telling me how they met the person, and they're saying that you can come onto the farm and do X, Y, and Z. And then other people that are wanting to buy plots of land, like, man, say these things out loud. You know, it's the same thing for me. I don't know the help I need until I write down what I can't do or what's in my realm of doing, and then figuring out, well, fuck, dude, I actually, in the nature that I've been in, the lessons I took away from some of the experiences I've had, and implementing them and really connecting him might serve us, both of us in this world moving forward in a pretty good way. And what I was kind of saying, like, even in the same sense of earlier, when, hey, like in your environment, shifting your environment, like even having a weird conversation with our parents and like trying to understand how our parents think and be like, yo, listen, like, I think here's the disconnect or like the communication where we're not seeing eye to eye, but I want you to know I love you. And you know what I mean? Like, even though I might seem distant or whatever, because sometimes those connections tie into other connections because your parents have been on the planet for X amount of years. They know plenty of people. Maybe they know some people in what we're going to need moving forward. And that's where I was trying to get at in that form of what I was saying in IG, where, hey, right now in the moment, let's see what it is we can do. So that way we can really take the steps forward. And then you start to run into the roadblocks of, yo, what is shit we can't fucking do? Because granted, we don't know what this country looks like in 5 years, but we can also create what we want our world in this country to look like in 5 years. Or just in this world itself. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, my point with that was I don't need to be here specifically anywhere in this country to build the community that I want to build.
Precisely. And I get that. And that's why I'm suggesting X, Y, and Z. But you also said your problem about leaving this country is you don't have the money to do it. So you got to figure out in that where are you going to make it so you can even get out of here, bro. So you're already like justifying X, Y, and Z and like you want to do X, Y, and Z. So I'm just like, cool, but let's do 1, 2, 3, whatever steps we can do right fucking this moment. The easiest, most simplest thing we can do.
I need this website built and made live. And I don't need somebody who can build it and just give it to me. I need someone in the project continuously developing front end and back end, because this is not just going to be a one-time, one-thing thing. I'm not just going to pay someone. It would be easy just to be like, all right, someone's going to spend 5 hours to build it. Because all it is many times is this template. They build it here. They make it look pretty. People can do this in a couple of hours. That's not what I want or need. I need someone who's going to help me take the web version of whatever I want in my mind and expand it out.
Yo, I get that. But you also need to tell me exactly what you need on that end. Then you find somebody who also is willing to.
I literally just sent you a website that I need to be mocked. So it can look something as similar to this with a product like this. Everything's already placed out. This would be the first version of a live website I can have. And this serves as more of a.
But my question is, so what is your issue with what you already have?
Customizability.
What's not customizable about Wix? They make that shit super simple.
Yeah. But.
Like, so, but what do you, that's a vague term. Like, what do you mean customizability? Go a little bit, can you go more in detail on that? Like, so I can understand where.
Wix is a template website. You don't really do anything. You can't get anything. You can add on different bits of code that have nothing to do with Wix and their website. It's not really a coding thing.
Yeah, well, if you want that, you need more of a...
And the only reason I have this website is because someone was kind enough to make me a mock website. And now they're not working on the project, and now I don't want to move along with this fucking website because I want to work with somebody continuously and help develop the website.
So, but in that sense, are you needing more e-commerce involvement? Like what? Like I'm not understanding exactly what you mean by this.
What do you mean need by this? I need someone to create that. What do you mean need more e-commerce involvement?
Because this is a mock website, but like if I was an outsider looking in, like I don't see what you're like. Why? What are you thinking too much about there? Like what customize? I don't understand what you mean. If I'm gonna come here, it's pretty simple, super simple. You already have like the fork, the plate, the knives, you know, made it simple about a membership, the details there, things are there. What, like, what more do you need? Because this is Rico. This is what Rico wants it to look like. You're gonna say, "Hey, I need you to do this," but then this person's gonna ask you a bunch of questions and understand what you need. So I'm trying to do the same thing right here to see if we can figure that out ourselves.
Well, ideally, I'd want to do it off Wix, like not on Wix.
But what for? Like, what is your issue with Wix?
No issue. I just like to do.
What if the person that we try to talk with says, "Hey, dude, really, you don't need to go off Wix, and I can do everything you're asking me to do in Wix." Like, then are you still gonna say, "Hey, I want to not do Wix"? I don't get what the issue with Wix is. I used to have Wix. I didn't like it. I went to Squarespace, and I like Squarespace a lot more. There's a lot more options in Squarespace. Wix was way too basic. That's just more like a landing page.
Right.
But Squarespace has more stuff involved in it and way more templates and way more things going on there. So it might just be still the same easy setup, but just on another platform as opposed to Wix. That's all I want to know. How does that look? What page, when I go to what does it say? What does it look like? This is Rico's website of the business. So nobody can put that information besides you. And I just want to know, what more does it need? Aside from it doesn't need to be on Wix. Because that's just a really easy, I mean, fuck, we'll go to another site and do the site. But like, I don't know what you want. That doesn't answer my question.
That's real. Okay, when it comes to this and this kind of aspect and this website, nothing much else needs to be added. There's a lot of stuff that's already there.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Like even the layout and the way it looks is really cool, and it has a good feel to it, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I agree. But again, this isn't the only thing I want.
Okay. But I mean, in that, but, it means that this is good, meh. Like, but what about this is good and meh. I really would like to do this. Not but, it's almost as if it's a negative. It takes away the good that the website already provides.
When I want...
It's like saying, hey, Rico,
when I say I want someone to be on the website or on the web development side, I don't just want them to be there for a website. One, there's... Well, so with the idea that I want, the group I'm trying to create, it's not a business.
Content continuously. That's different. That's different from a website creator. You need a content creator. That's what you're asking. So that has nothing to do with the website itself. We're looking for content.
There's going to be plenty of websites.
Fair enough. That's simple.
Lots of content.
That clears it up because it's not about the website. It's not about the website. It's about
specifically about the website, but having someone there to help continue develop websites.
Okay, so now we're getting somewhere with what you're saying, right? You're actually getting it out loud, which is good, because before it was super vague and you're just blaming it on Wix, and I say that's bullshit because that's beautiful right there. But if what you're looking for is more content that's beautiful like that, that helps me, that gives me a direction, that gives me something that I can take and understand and bring that, be like, hey, dude, I got this opportunity. What do you think on top of what you already got going on? What do you need from me? How is this going to work? Because I guarantee this will be a side project for somebody and they could still do multiple things because that's how humans seem to work. We don't really want to put full focus in one thing, even though it benefits us so much more when we do.
Right.
What's the next thing? What is another thing that's on there? And this is where my I guess now my business intelligence has kind of come into play, because now I need to know specifics. Like, let's get the grandiose of what you need. Cool. Let's break down into actionable steps, objectives, a goal we can work towards, and see if these objectives and these steps, is this action plan, is this something we can do right now? Or is this something that we have to, it's in fantasy world and who knows if that even works? Is that just a justification for us to not get started now? Let's figure that out. That's all.
Right.
And that's, I guess, where this analytical brain kind of comes into play to understand, well, shit, I run my own business. I have to understand the website stuff, the content stuff. I don't like it. I'm not the best at it personally. I'm still trying to learn as I go. And that's why some of my stuff isn't, I don't know. And I stopped caring as much because I think nobody cares is like, did I get the message out? Did I get what I needed other people to see? And the people that are with it, cool, hell yeah. And stop trying to get to grandiose. Fuck, well, I'll sit with these 15 people that like my content, or there's 15 people that talk with me consistently. Cool, those 15 people know 10 people or one person. Then that's 20, like 30 people on top of us. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like thinking so small in the moment. This is you and I here. We've known each other and we've been on the same page for quite some years now. So let's actually put that in. I'll still do my fitness shit, but I'm gladly providing to something that I see is very awesome, because I still think that my network and my fitness shit and my stuff works into this, because it brings other people in ad agencies and other people that have outlets to, you know, a bigger audience themselves. It's not like the audience even matters, but then other people trust that person and this person. So if we put that out there in the sphere, people that really trust their opinion and what they contribute, they'll want to contribute as well, or know somebody who can.
All right. So
do you see where my head is in all this though?
Yeah, I get you. So I'll tell you the idea then. We need 600 people. And this is now just combining a lot of people.
How did you get that number? I'm gonna ask you that right now, real fast.
Well, you'll see why I got the number.
I mean,
you'll see why I got the number once I start explaining it.
You're getting into it right now.
Yeah. So I need 600 people to each pull in $100
per person.
Huh? Per person.
Okay.
So, essentially speaking, we need $60,000.
Okay.
60K. This is one of the projects. It has nothing to do with the website. There's some other stuff I'm working on. Because again, the way I work is I don't want someone to be like, hear this. I need someone to be like, all right, let's fucking take over the world kind of shit. Because this is, I've met other people, and this is the vibe I like to be on with other people.
In that, can I add something? Did you not do a GoFundMe when you were trying to do the hemp proof the world, right? Well, if we put in detail what we're trying to do, why we're trying to do it, the exact things in the same stuff, and get multiple people to throw that out there, that's some already in and of itself. And then figuring out, well, in the meantime, what else do I need and where can I get it from? Does that make sense?
Wait, no, go back.
So like we put in a description, right? This is why we're making the GoFundMe. This is why we're doing this. This is exactly what we plan to do with it.
Can't make it GoFundMe because it's specifically.
Well, I get it, but like you find an outlet, whatever. It's not even about that. Even if we make X amount of dollars from that, that's X amount of dollars we don't already have. Cool, okay? But that puts in to something else. I get that you're saying that most of the time you can't even collect.
What you're saying is let's create a GoFundMe.
Well, no, let's create something that's more along the lines of, didn't GoFundMe, you actually have to hit the number in order to collect the money. Otherwise that shit just.
That was Kickstarter.
Okay, fair enough. So
and
Indiegogo. Why not try? There's people out there. My buddy, the 2 people that I know in training, they have X amount of followers on Instagram. Asked for $10,000 for a small business advancements to get better. They made that in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's just simply asking. And if you have the transparency and you give people involvement along the way, because we're building our reputation on who we are, people will just be willing to give money because of who you are, and they want to see you continue to create your stuff.
That'd be dope.
Especially learning that from doing everything on my own. People that truly start to see that you really care about what you're doing. They don't give a fuck how much we know until they know how much we care. And until we can prove that to other people how much we care and why we're doing this, our exact reason, fucking documenting what we're doing out there to try to put this together. We're not just bullshitting you and trying to get some money off of you. People will really start to actually invest and be there. They want to feel a part of something. We're humans. Humans want to feel connected. And right now people are spending money in many different places on the dark web. How much money goes into alcohol alone, bro?
I don't know. A lot.
A fuck ton of money.
Yeah.
Like the fact that essential businesses are open, or cannabises and liquor stores, like that's going to tell you a telltale sign right there that a lot of people are spending them. Most people are mad because they can't go out and club and party and shit like that. Man, it's still here in San Diego, Little Italy, they call it Little or Litty or whatever, because it's fucking lit, man. Motherfuckers don't care. They can't wait to get drunk. They can't wait to do this stuff. So if we were trying to actually provide something better for the world, better for our community, better for our people, fuck, bro. Well, those people that don't care to support, those just aren't our people, brother. We didn't.
Exactly, I get it. Like there's a lot of people who aren't our people.
Yeah, but I think that there's also a lot of people that we're neglecting to understand. Because there's a lot more people that tend to be my people that I don't realize are my people until I'm like, damn, I get this message from random people say, dude, wow, you, just something about your page, this, like, you're liked. I want to just check in, make sure you're okay, because, you know, this message you said the other day made me feel some type of way. And like, I love the message and how open and blah, 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 whatever they want to say, right? Just be for being your true self and speaking your truth. I have, like, I try not to hide much, right? These days, like, I'm doing my best, but I definitely hide my dark side, but I'm starting to embrace that a little bit more, you know, because that's who I am. And I can't just always be this light. They need to know why I'm this light, because fuck this dark. Oh boy. Okay. Anyways, but yeah, you know what I mean?
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah. My brain just went ham. But because I know that these opportunities are here, and I've been reluctant to, even for my own self, like, ask for donations and ask for help. But if I have a proper cause of something that creates something from not just myself, not just, it's for many people these are the people that want to be a part of it. Well, fuck, dude. I have nothing but faith that is going to happen. I have nothing but faith that in due time, in patience, it might not happen at the exact moment we want, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to happen.
It's true. It's timing.
Yeah, because even when we left to Thailand, I was gnarly fearful of the direction of the world. And in that time, even it didn't get gnarly until this year, like super gnarly until 2020.
So weird.
And that's 7 years later.
So weird.
That's why I say, like, time shouldn't really fucking matter. You know, we're starting to realize, like, even what's going on, how many people are working from home are going to call bullshit moving forward if they try to have them come back into work. Like, yo, I just worked this whole time from home. You don't need me to be in there all the time, you micromanaging slave fucking drivers.
Hey, nothing wrong with slave drivers, you know?
I mean, on a moralistic level, we might have some issues in that one, but like,
it's hilarious. You know?
But if I mean, if it's a psychological thing, and you're a slave and you don't even realize you're a slave, I got some issues with that.
Well, 600 people, $100 each.
No, 60K. Who cares about 600 people? 60K. 60K is the number. But what does 60K give people? What are we doing with the 60K? Why the 60K?
All right. So
if it's not written down, write that shit down now.
Yeah, well, this number is written down. It's not written down by me. I'm telling you what I'm talking about with the other homie. Because I'm telling you what I'm talking about with the other homie, because our idea is getting people to pool funds together in this way instead of. And the reason we're doing this is to raise funds so we can create an opportunity zone fund. So in order to open up, like, in order to have the ability to start getting funding for certain locations that we have already selected, and my homie already has like land owners over there already on board with the idea. He's already gonna talk to them. He's very proactive. I love this guy. He's like the complete opposite of what I am. Well, he's not the complete opposite. We think very alike, but he's a very active go-getter motherfucker, which is great. So he already has land hooked up over there. All we're trying to do is get money.
So where is over there? What locations?
California City.
They're online? Huh?
California City.
Where?
California City.
Where's that?
It's like an hour and a half away from here or something.
There's a city called California City in California?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It is. And it was planned in such a way that it was meant to be like a city of the future. Like, they did have a sort of design. So they had a bigger idea of what a city should be like when they planned this city. It wasn't just like a random city that popped up like LA. Like, LA just shit.
Oh yeah, you only have one fucking freeway to get to it.
LA's the clusterfuck. But besides that,
well, California City right now, you only have one freeway to get to that shit. It's in like, no one would go that way unless they're going fucking trying to go.
That's why you have an opportunity zone, bro. This is why you start creating industry. This is why you can literally build.
Like I want to go visit where Mike Baker was talking about. He's like, Boise, Idaho, we're full, man. We're full. Even though him and Joe were talking about how that's a fucking.
Hey man, it's greener over there. Like I didn't know how green it was until I looked at the map of the United States and realized how fucking dry it is over here.
I want to get to fucking nature. Yeah, dude,
Dude,
we're in these dry regions.
the East Coast, the east part of the United States is so green compared to the West.
Dude, that's why I hear like upper
It's
New York
insane.
is way different than actual like the city New York. Like even Joe's talked about it on podcasts where like you have coyotes and you have like mountain lions, you have like actual wildlife that's out there like
Well, yeah,
insane.
one's a concrete jungle, one's a forest.
Two polar opposites. It's synchronous. It's like duality right there.
Yeah. Well, we have concrete deserts over here. We're literally living in concrete deserts.
Dude, I see why like we get caught up, especially you living in LA County. That right there is a gnarly.
Yeah, I live in LA, but it's
outskirts of LA County, but it's so close to LA. And what is LA?
true.
LA is
That's
just
real.
fake everything, man.
Smog and
Yeah.
I get the vibes from it. Like on the freeway, I get all them vibes. Just fucking.
And I called it Holly Weird for a reason, like
That's true. That's true. It's weird, man. No,
they call it the City of Angels.
it's because the angels need to be here because all the fucking demons
Lost
going
Angels.
down.
That's for damn sure. Lost Angels.
Tons of demonry going here. So no,
Fallen Angels. There we go. That might be it.
maybe. Who knows? Perhaps. Could be.
I mean, I started watching that Lucifer show, and he chose to be here. He took off his wings and he fucking stayed in Earth. He's like, hell's whack, man. It's fucking party time.
It's just fucking lit. Y'all gotta go on damn. Yeah.
He owns a bar, a nightclub, dude. He's a savage.
I mean,
Fucking talks to, like he has people, dude. It started. He's like he'll have people share their deepest, darkest secrets with him.
nice.
And like the first episode, he gets pulled over by a cop, and he goes, he's speeding. He gives the officer some money. He's like, this is illegal, right? He's like, yes, officer, but you never sped. He's like, and then the officer looks like, one of my favorite things to do is when no one's around, turn my lights on to speed as fast as I can. He's like, see what I'm saying, officer? Here you go. Have a nice day. And he paid him the money, and the cop took off, bro. He's a straight G.
That sounds pretty gangster. I'm not gonna lie. And Lucifer would be a gangster because,
bro, and he has a fucking British accent. He's just like supposed to be some handsome gent with this accent, right?
Oh, bad. I disagree with the show now. Fuck it. The British part killed it. We should ban this show now.
I mean, you look at most Americans though; they tend to like that English accent for some, or the accent like
sounds fancy.
And yeah, when even for some reason, we don't realize we have an accent, but like go to Australia, be like, yeah, you have a sexy American accent. Like, what you mean by that? Like,
what you mean by that?
Even going in a different, like you go to South, y'all, and you go to upstate New York and whatever they're saying in different, grrr, grrr, I'll probably fit in there with my neurosis, how fast I talk. I'll be like, man, y'all are even faster than me. What the fuck?
I don't know, man. I think Hollywood set the standard, so I'll just call my English normal.
Fair enough.
Everyone else can deal with theirs.
California City, how much land?
Tons.
So it's not being utilized now. That doesn't make sense. So like, why is it just sitting there? Why are we not
development? There's no development going on over there.
But what about farming? What's the climate like to make anything, like to grow anything? What can you grow there?
Central Valley, like it's Central Valley like kind of thing, and I don't know where they're pulling. According to my friend, it's a genius city because they planned the shit out of it, and it's a very well planned city.
It's not too far away from Bakersfield. Bakersfield's fucking hot during the summer.
Oh no, it's hot. I told him it's a desert, and I'm like, that sucks. But there's other places you can build opportunity zones. Opportunity zones are in places like fucking Oakland has opportunity zones. LA has opportunity zones.
Yeah, so there's a lot of. That's what I'm saying. Like
the reason we want land is because they're trying to grow hemp over there. So that's what we're trying to get. We're trying to start the hemp infrastructure, get the manufacturing going.
What's a state right now that legally allows hemp growing? Is it Colorado? Is it Utah?
You gotta define hemp.
Fair enough, but I know that there's a Nature's Root company, like a hemp CBD company that makes balms and face.
That's the problem right there. You just said it, CBD. And hemp CBD, okay, it makes sense, but we gotta start separating the plant. We really do. CBD is still flower. you're still
Yeah,
getting it from a
still
flower.
budding. Yeah, because
Still,
people
it's
still
still a
flower.
bud.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
that.
So
No
CBD,
buds on actual
THC,
hemp.
CBG,
And,
all those
and
cannabinoids.
that's where it's important then on that same note to educate people, because even
Right.
me, I didn't realize the difference between
Right.
the two.
Right.
So that's where, instead of demonizing, okay, hey,
Right.
listen, yo, can I show you something? Because before I found this knowledge out, I thought hemp was X, Y, and Z. And let me
Right.
show you what it really is and what the texture really is. And
On
oh, no fucking way. And show, that's where you're already the plates that we have, or the paper plates, and show how well it's used. And like, look, this is BS petrol plastic. This is this. And I am still, or even have it like, that plate you just ate off during our meeting right now,
right.
that was all hemp, right? Oh, no way. I had no idea. I couldn't even tell the difference between that and whatever, plastic or whatever it was before. It's to like have that not have to be in your face and be like, haha, I got the right answer. I'm right, you're wrong, or whatever. It's like,
Right.
whoa, guys, we've been so misled, but I want to show you how beautiful this life could be. And we have, like right now, I think that is utopian. We could have utopia. We've created so much beauty here, abundance.
The potential's there.
The control
is there. I see it.
The control is for the greed. The control is for the power. The control is for the control. Like, it's just to keep people doing what they want them to do for their benefit, as opposed to the collective benefit.
I don't even know if it's to keep people doing it. It's just,
or they're just so used to doing it, and then there's, because if you pick a lot of people's brains, they don't want to change. A lot of people do not like change.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people like change. They don't fucking like change. And especially if you're in a power position, no fucking way are you going to give up that position.
They're afraid of losing power, and that's the main problem. And hemp is,
because they can't see the beauty on the other side. But I'm almost like, how well do these people sleep at night? Do they even fucking sleep? Like, how could you, knowing that that's what you're doing to other people?
So here's what we're trying to do with the buildings, though. So the 60K is only the beginning. It's only to create and legally market the marketing and getting everything ready, and then people will invest. The people, well, it's also buying into a network of people who have already set up opportunity zones. So it's not, we're just not creating this out of the blue. It's someone who's already done 20 plus opportunity zones. We're getting his help, and he's helping us do this and set up everything. And opportunity zones are like a couple million. They're hundreds of millions of dollars of projects.
Define that. What is that?
What?
What's an opportunity zone?
It's an area that's been designated by the government where you can put in your money for development without it getting taxed and reap benefit from it at the end. So I'm not really sure what their economic benefit is at the end, if they get any interest, but they do get no taxation when their money is a haven.
On that note, would you not agree that it's another part of what we would need on our team is somebody that understands the legal system of where we're living?
Oh yeah, we need a fucking lawyer.
Not even a lawyer. They don't even necessarily have to be a lawyer, but they need to know law.
Would be ideal, so you can be able to.
So you're able to practice law per se. But if you understand law and you can use it to your advantage, then it's still the same in a sense.
Yeah,
well, you can represent yourself in same settings, and if you know it to a T better than, I mean, some lawyers are so caught up in their own, like, even what I realize is sometimes we confirm each other biases. That's why I'm trying to challenge a bias.
We need one lawyer. Everyone else can just be part of that team. We just need someone to be able to actually execute legal actions. That's what I said by a lawyer. But yeah, dude, we need a lawyer. We need accountants. We need graphic designer.
Why I say we wouldn't need just a lawyer, and it's like, well, is that a lawyer that understands law in Florida? Is that a lawyer that understands law in New York? Whatever location we live, all the laws are different. So they have to understand where we're at. They have to be able to know and be an independent thinker, also learn whatever laws they don't know and be willing to learn. So, because
they just need to be legal counsel.
Useless if their information is all like marriage law, right? Like, what does that matter for what we're doing? You know what I'm saying? So it really is, it's to a T, that stuff matters as well, because what is most of their practice in? What kind of law do they understand?
If we get married to royalty, it is very important.
Right. But I mean, you're making it if. That's a big if. But I'm talking about in this sense, we're talking land, we're talking geographic location, we're talking, trying to plot and grow some things that might not be legal in the current system. But if you can find a loophole on that
It,
legality,
here's the kicker. All right. In those places, wherever it is, whether it's NorCal, whether it's Central Valley in California, we're thinking California because we're in
that's where
California.
we're at. That's where we're at right now, and that's where we have, and that's where we have connection. So that's why I think this is good.
Yeah, well, California has tons of money too. This is one extreme benefit of being here. If you do get access to resources, it could be a very big access to resources.
They have a lot of open-minded, conscious beings too,
and money.
Yeah. Well, yeah, a lot of them with money, right? Yeah, because I don't want a closed-minded person with money on the team either way. I don't care how much money you have.
All right, so we can build a hemp infrastructure or hemp infrastructure. So it processes and manufactures specifically, because we don't have that. There is no such thing as a hemp processing and manufacturing centers. There's one or two in the United States and a couple around the world, but they're not really up to par with like the possible technology that we can implement, because we literally stopped hemp processing technology for 85 years. And now we're catching up. So building these facilities in certain locations will allow us to start processing a lot of hemp. And when it comes to hemp, we don't even have to make it that big of a deal. All the CBD everyone grows, we'll take your trash. We'll take your trash, because you don't need the stems and the roots, or you don't actually need to cut a lot of the roots. You probably shouldn't, because the roots are good for the soil. But you don't need the stems and the leaves and all this other stuff. You can keep the leaves, whatever you're trying to throw away, give it to us. We'll use it, we'll convert it, we'll make it into something. Whatever the hell it is, we'll figure it out.
That's a simple, phone call. Hey guys, I know you guys do this. Do you do anything with what your current, like, what does your waste look like? Can I take that from you and get rid of that?
They throw that shit away. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that. But then you call the company and be like, hey, do you guys have somebody that comes and picks this up? Do you have to pay them? Well, hey, I'll come pick up that product for free.
All good ideas.
Boom.
Yes. You need a truck. Let's get a truck.
Granted, but that you're already, don't limit.
Where do we put it? Where do we put it? Where do we put it? Well, I've actually taken this thought process to a lot. All right, so actionable steps.
But we need to actually, I get that, but still, you have to put those thoughts out loud. I got to hear that. Okay, I have somebody that probably has a truck somewhere. We can easily put that out to other people. Figure out, okay, well, there are people that keep coming to me like, hey, well, what do we do? What do we do? Well, what do I do? What about a community? Well, I don't know, let's start one, but then if we could start one and be like, hey guys, all those people that were looking for this stuff, we're trying to build this right now.
If you want to start a community, just let me know, bro. It's easy. Just tell me how many people you have that want to start a community, where you want to live, and I'll set up a basic community. And by that, I mean,
people are debating on buying a house somewhere, and I'm like, well, fuck, dude. Well,
buying a house requires. Oh yeah, sure. A lot of people.
I can't convince somebody to do or do not do something, right? Like they have to already be willing to do that. So if I relay that information to them, and that information they see a benefit to their life and the people around them, and it'll go somewhere or whatever it does for them to accept it. But I have to know personally, as well as you, for the people that we think that would be fit with us, how can we relay this to them? What is the language of the people that we feel like our people are talking, and what are those points that kind of will stand out to somebody, right? Because then we have to become geniuses in marketing of this same thing, because we're playing this game still. We can pretend like the game's not there. We can pretend like the money's not there, but the money's still there. It is still happening. It is still going on. So we still got to fucking make it happen.
Right.
Otherwise, I'm just making excuses for me trying to, I don't know, like body wants path of least resistance. Fuck, that seems hard. I don't really want to do it. Yeah, but that's probably the stuff we really should be doing.
Right. That's true.
This is also me helping out loud. I'm not saying you're wrong or right. It's just like me trying to understand out loud what's going on too, and seeing if that resonates and if you've already thought about this, etc.
I've developed a general dislike with talking with strangers on the phone, which is kind of weird. Talking with strangers on the phone.
Oh, for sure.
It's like a general dislike, and it's just kind of weird because I've had plenty of jobs where I talk to strangers on the phone.
Phone sucks though.
Yeah.
So I can't see nuances. I can't see your body language. How did you react to that, etc.
Again,
Q and IQ, emotion. We're emotional beings. What you said is not necessarily how you said it. It's how they took it, what they heard. That's why I said, hey, what are you hearing with what I'm saying, so I can understand how I sound to you.
No, okay.
But I know you understand me. But I had to make sure what I said is exactly how you took it, and that's how you were taking it. That's all.
For sure.
Because I think that there's just a misunderstanding or something that we said they didn't like, and how can I really say it to where what I meant for them to receive from it. Does that make sense? Because they hear this word and that word took them back a little bit, but maybe I could have said it in a different way to where like, oh, I get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I tend to
We
think
all could, yeah, well,
that's what happens in communication.
That's language.
Exactly. And that's the only thing that us humans can, this is how we've learned to communicate or learn to interact with each other is language. But language is also, there's underlying meanings behind language and they hold power and energy. And I think that based on whatever somebody defines a word or whatever's happened or whatever it is or whatever encounter, all it is like seeking to understand if that person understood you, right? Because I understand me to an extent, you understand you, we're able to understand each other here, but you put us together next to some general pop people and they think we're fucking batshit crazy at a certain time. And I'm totally cool with that. But like, you know what I mean? Like, but I look at some people in the same way, like, whoa, why are you looking at me funny for talking to my dog? Like, you know what I mean? Like my dog understands certain things, but I just got this weird, dirty look outside. Like I was telling her to go down the steps slow because she usually tries to jump off this 7th stair and he's looked at me funny. I'm like, okay. I see how I'm perceived as a weirdo sometimes.
Well, I don't know. If you don't talk to dogs, then you're not human, in my opinion. So
I'm not human?
Yeah. Oh, if you don't talk to dogs, you're not human.
Oh, right. Then that's like, is there an issue with that? It's just like my perception of the look he gave me, like, it was just like, oh, but there was definitely an age gap there for sure.
Those guys. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But I got like probably 5 minutes and I got to get ready for this session.
Closing remarks.
Then I choose to get ready.
What we need is $60K for that project, or a website developer, or a lawyer, or an accountant.
But all of them. Not or. Because you're saying if we don't get the 60K, then we get a lawyer, we're good. No, like if we don't get a lawyer, then we're good if we get one at a time, but we need this and this and this and this and this and this.
We need all that.
And words are casting spells. So
if you got skills and wish to use these skills.
Another reason, right, if we broke the molds of reality and we saw what it really is, then what we're speaking out there is important because that's being drawn to us.
Yeah. Is that you or me?
That was me.
Oh, I was like, why is that shit so loud?
Yeah, sorry. That was a text message from somebody it goes on my computer. But like and that's what I mean, like being careful on the buts to everything, because that but just means that shit you said before is non-existent because you're making an excuse for it. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, there isn't an excuse for that. You can say that and say, and I need this, and this is a possibility, but I really, really, really want this, right? Instead of saying this, but da-da-da-da-da. Like that almost makes it seem like, well, this isn't really possible because of this justification here, but like, let's give it a try. Like we're not even actually implementing it. If you tried it and you said, hey, I need this, I gave it a try and it didn't work, then it's like, okay, well, let's go back to the drawing board. Or what didn't work in that? How, like, go walk me through hour by hour, minute by minute, interaction by interaction. Oh, boom, here's where a disconnect may have happened. Let's try it this way this time. All that other stuff worked up until this point. Well, boom, let's go from that point and do that shit differently. Or if we feel like it's necessary to scrap it and start over, cool. But that's something that's figured out in the meantime. You know what I mean? Because if you say, hey, my name's Rico and I'm super happy, but this is what's going on in my life. Like, wait, so are you really happy or is this what's going on in your life? Which one is it? You know what I mean? That's just an example. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah, I get it.
Because then your thoughts become things, right? Like it becomes real things, and the way you talk to yourself is important too, because your body's reacting to that said thing that you just stated.
It's true. No, yeah, I should have said end.
No, and then careful on that dreaded shit on yourself. Moving forward, I'm going to use something like that. You know, that might be a better way to phrase it.
I kind of slipped. I should have said that. I don't know why I said or.
Well, be careful because you're gonna go into that circle of I should have. Don't be good on yourself.
I wrote it down as plus. So I should have said or.
See, that's what happens though. Sometimes, like I found myself when I get really stoned, I get into less optimistic thought patterns at times, right? Like then there's times where I'm super creative with it, and there's times where I'm mad pessimistic. Like listening to our conversation, starting off on a high note, and if I were to be high right now, the ending like, man, whatever. I don't know what happened in there. The encounter, something happened there where
thought process went somewhere else, and then loops started happening, and then. Yeah,
right, because right now I'm in this is a really engaging, empowering conversation, and I took some of what I felt like was confusing on what you're telling me, and now I understand it a little bit more. But I'm just one human, and I understand you. Well, how many other humans do we need to understand this thing that we want to make happen, or that we're putting forth effort to make happen? And hence the putting forth effort here, hearing your thoughts, you hear them out loud, see if that thought's even a real thing. Is it a possibility? Is it true? Cool. Well, here's my perspective on that thought there. This is what I need from you. Can you provide that? Oh, cool. Whatever. And we move forward from there. You know what I mean? And that's where it's constructive. But it's also necessary to have leaders in the sense where, hey, I'm the guy that can communicate really well with other people. You have a lot of good ideas. Seem to be a conduit in a sense where, hey, I've met people and I've connected with people. And if I feel confident enough in what I'm saying, I can easily relay that in a confident way. But if I don't have confidence in that, it's not going to come off that way because I don't feel it. Hence why I'm so passionate about what I know in fitness, because I know that shit. You know what I mean? I've done it. I'm doing it. It's working. But
I know what you mean.
if I just learn a new thing and I try to tell that to somebody, I'm like, it doesn't really, I don't have as much confidence in how I try to relay it. And in the moment, I will be like, hey, I'm trying something new here, or this trial and error, this might not work the way I want it to, but at least I'm telling them that's what I'm doing instead of kind of just bullshitting and say, hey, this is going to work, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Did that make sense?
I know exactly what you mean. I mean, I was a teacher for a long time. So, so I know exactly what you mean. I know.
You just haven't, what's going on? Where's your, what? Get back to teaching. Now you're just teaching different subject matter.
Yeah, basically it's actually just changed my
I still feel like you're teaching me, I'm teaching you, but it's just we're receptive of the lessons.
I wanted the last remark to be, I actually started the other Instagram I had, which was Dr. Hemp.
Yeah.
I changed it to Rico's Cannabis Class.
Okay.
Because I'm going to start doing this thing with the homie where we're going to get really high and test products like I told you.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to just continue my cannabis teachings because all I was doing, I want to teach people about hemp too. I want to keep doing that shit. That shit was tight. I love talking about hemp.
Let's set that for part 2 of this conversation because I can't go into that right now. I got 3 minutes until I have all
right, man. So we'll stop it for right now and we'll set it for part 2.
A little bit for
going back to this topic.
To go on that. So moving forward, writing this down. If you don't, since you have a pen right there, you finished at you starting at Rico's cannabis class. There you go. And we were talking about trying products, etc. And that's where we're going with this conversation moving forward.
For sure. Peace, bro.
Yeah. Hey, I'll talk to you in a little bit. But this is good. This is